We are ready
Hold
to
on,
roll.
let me pour a little libation real quick.
Hold on, yo.
What the heck are you talking about? This guy.
You don't know
Yo,
what a libation is?
It's code
I
word
don't
for
want to
alcohol,
know.
Alex. Come on now. It's not that hard.
I know. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright.
You've been live.
Oh, for real?
You're
Oh,
for
shit.
real. For real.
Oh, we're not. Well, go ahead. Whoever's doing the intro, we have a special introduction.
All right, New Gaming Order. This is Alex, Lexus, Nelson, on your knees, Shinwar, and Brother Nuke coming at you for January 22nd, 2015. Shut up, Nuke.
Yo,
Coming at you.
Yo,
What the heck?
Black Planet, yo. Go ahead.
Yo, you gotta quit calling me Brother Noob, yo. Shinwar brought up a good point. People gonna think I'm part of the nation, yo. Hold on.
Domination.
People gonna start approaching me on the block, yo, with them newspapers.
Bean pie, my brother.
And they gonna walk up to him like D'Lo Brown, like you're looking at the real deal now. All right, but
I'm getting off.
okay, let's redo this intro.
We do need to redo this.
New Gaming Order. This is Alex, Lexus, Nelson, on your knees, Shinwar, and Noop, coming at you with today's podcast. Now, going around the table with introductions, on your knees had requested to go first. So, Chris, you got the floor.
Alex, I'd like to apologize to you. I forgot your birthday, so as a public service announcement, happy 45th birthday to you.
Unbelievable. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know I didn't finish the other one, right? Yeah. And I'll come pick it up.
Happy 45th birthday, Alex. We know you're an old man, but you're holding it together rather well.
I'm not even. You know what? Chris will never get an intro again. He's on suspension for the next month.
Yo, he exposed his real age, yo.
I'm not 45. New
you said
Gaming
you got
Order.
a Glock 45.
New Gaming Order. Sunday was my birthday, and these guys are messing with me. So, anyway, Noop, intro. What you got for us today?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm playing Sunset Overdrive. We appreciate the support. I've been working with Nelson on my Twitch page. I'm going to start posting more stuff on my YouTube page and more stuff on Twitch. I'm probably going to start targeting the racing community. We don't talk about racing games too often. And one thing we want to do is really push, a variety of content. So I have Forza Motorsport 5 and Horizon 2. So I'm going to do some more probably weekend streaming and posting videos, and any tips and tricks I find along the way, I'll add to the video, and anything you want to add, you can do that as well. But we're really want to push, a lot of you guys who are on this YouTube thing, we thank you, but please just take, those couple of minutes, and if you don't have a Twitch account, definitely set one up and follow us on there as well. And the beautiful thing about that is, whenever we start streaming, if you're subscribed or following the page, you'll get a nice little email saying, hey, New Gaming Order is live, and you can tune in on your smartphone device or on your Xbox. I believe PlayStation has Twitch now too, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're trying to get you all to, continue to support us on different mediums.
Mediums? No comment. Brother Nelson. No, actually, you're going last. Shinwar, intro. What you got for us, bro?
Hey, good evening, stream. What's up, everybody? Happy birthday, Alex. I didn't know you were 45. Now,
I am not 45. Unbelievable.
We got some good topics for everybody out there tonight. Also, the Royal Rumble is this Sunday, so definitely going to be out there watching it. We definitely want to hear you guys' views and your opinions on how the Royal Rumble is going to be, and we got some good stuff for you tonight. Check it out.
All right. Nelson, opening comments.
What's up, everybody? Sorry about the little sunglasses. My eyes are fucking bloodshot. I didn't get enough sleep because I thought I had a job interview and I found out that it was a scam. But we got a good podcast today. Just keep in mind that we do now have an Instagram account that Noob1949 is keeping track of. So if you want to follow us on there, you're good.
Alrighty. So, without further ado, let's hit our first topic. All right. Now, I'm actually rearranging the order because there was something that Shinwar and I were talking about in reference to Evo 2015. All right. Mm-hmm. The lineup. Now, my thing is, okay, they have a good, assortment of titles. And Nelson had brought up a point, and we already came to an agreement on why they left out certain games. But for the sake of our podcast, I wanted to bring that up: the absence of King of Fighters and Dead or Alive. I have a problem with that because King of Fighters and when Bala was playing, that still got hype. You know what I mean? When he was doing Takuma's like hey combo. You know what I mean? Like it kind of baffles my mind that they gave priority to games like Tekken 7, which is not officially out yet, and then MKX that's not out yet. I get they're new tracking, but Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate, I think they could have done without it. You know what I mean? But it's that's just my opinion.
Huh?
But going around the table, I'm gonna give Shinwar the floor first. Your thoughts on the Evo lineup for this year's event?
Right. Well, I'm fine with the lineup. I don't understand why they have to have two Smash games, but I was watching Maximilian's reaction video to that, and he made a good point. The older Smash game is sort of like Super Turbo, so it's that classic game. It has that nostalgia about it, and people still play it, so that's fine. Even though I still feel like it's taking up a slot, which probably could have been used for KOF or DOA.
Exactly, exactly.
Tekken 7 is gonna be arcade machine, which is cool. I think that's cool. Namco Bandai, they're trying to push that product, and that's fine. But with Tekken only being the only 3D fighting game, I think they could have put DOA in there.
I agree.
What else? MKX, we knew that was in there. Injustice didn't make the roster this year, so that's cool. They have Persona 4 and what's the other one? Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear makes its return, I believe, after 3 years, so that's definitely cool.
Yes.
That's gonna have a strong showing. Killer Instinct with the season 2 re-up, that's gonna be cool. Ultimate Marvel, I'm glad it's still there because it's the last
What?
one as of right now. It's the last one as of right now, so that's a mainstay, and it's gonna be like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's gonna be there for a while. And obviously Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I hope there's a side Omega tournament, but who knows? And hopefully we'll get to see Street Fighter 5 demoed again at Evo. So
I'm
that's all I have
I'm
to say.
almost counting on that, Shinwar. I believe they'll have a build with more characters. That
Yeah.
the rumor that was on Shoryuken and Event Hubs. So that should be remain to be seen. But you made a good point. The only 3D fighter that would have, Virtual Fighter is still gonna have, I guess, its own side thing. But Dead or Alive, last round. That's a
Yeah.
new installment in there. That's no different than Ultra Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and Vanilla. You know what I mean? Like I think they could have included DOA 4. But brother Noob, what are your thoughts on the exclusion of freaking King of Fighters and Dead or Alive? And then what are your thoughts on this new lineup?
Um, I agree with Shinwar, man. It's like change it up. And when I say change it up drastically. Give those other games and those other top tier gamers and other games a chance to shine and let them become household names as well. It's like those guys are
Hmm.
like grinding up from the bottom. And also, I don't know if it's a hey, Capcom sliding us extra money or sponsorship thing to take the main stage, and Nintendo doing the same thing or what. But I would like to see more games showcased because I mean Street Fighter sometimes it does get a little stale. You get tired of seeing the same
Christian
characters and the
Bale.
same people play the same way every year. You know what I mean? And then you're expanding the fight community when you expose someone who may not have the game to the game by showing it tournament style and saying, "Oh, I didn't know this game had this feature or that feature." So I feel like you shouldn't limit yourself, man. Change it up. If it was up to me, I would showcase. I would rotate. I would have a rotation and say, "Hey, we're still gonna do all these games, but this year these two are gonna be in the spotlight, and then next year these two are gonna be in the spotlight to give everybody some shine."
Yeah, that's true
Yeah,
because Street Fighter is always the main event.
yeah,
Always the
but
main event.
yeah, that will never change. It's Street
Mm-mm.
Fighter, the godfather of fighting games. But
Hmm.
no, I feel you. I definitely feel you. That's why they do give
I think it
rotations
might change.
to the other games. What
I
happened?
think it might change because you got to look at it with Street Fighter now moving to just one console and PC.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, if these top tier game, I mean, it's up to us. If these top tier gamers and tournament players decide, you know what, let's play Tekken instead. Let's play, King of Fighters instead. Let's play Dead or Alive instead. Then that's out. They're gonna showcase what's getting the views
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and what
Okay.
people want. So we have that power. But I mean, and then like again, all those guys have to console swap now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they didn't have both consoles, they now have to buy the new console and build their whole new community on a whole nother platform. That's a lot of work.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of work because you're moving to a console where you don't know anybody now, unless you already had both. So
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Now, on your knees, I know I didn't give you a chance to prepare for this topic, so you don't have to comment on this one. I'll save you for the Windows side of things.
All
But
right.
Nelson, your thoughts on this stuff?
All right, now I can finally talk. Okay,
We heard you the whole time.
no, you didn't. All
Yes,
right,
we
but
did.
the, this is my opinion. I'm not trying to make this into like factual or anything like that. The reason why they're trying to choose the games that they are showing of 2015 this year's Evo because one, there's what three to four new games that they're trying to highlight this year, so they can get some airtime since it's like the new release. Like Killer Instinct, of course, was last year's Evo, but they're doing it again. You have Guilty Gear Xrd, you have Tekken 7, and you have one other fucking game besides both of the Smash Brothers, Marvel, and Street Fighter. It's one other game I can't
MKX.
remember. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Mortal Kombat 10. All the other games are not gonna be subsided. They're not gonna be counted out. They will still be played, but on a different stream. Mind you, Evo is huge. And it's not as small as you guys think it is. You'll still have your Kings of Fighters. You'll still have your Tekken Tag. You'll still have your Dead or Alive. Your Mortal Kombat 9. Classic Hyper Street Fighter 2 Turbo. All that will be either on the Mad Cat side of the stage or one of the 7 streamers that will be presented there. So nothing will be left out. You'll have to watch other streams, and you can always go to multi Twitch, which is something that we done in the past, and you can check them all out all at the same time, so you guys could get your fill.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, my thing is, I think that DOA and King of Fighters still has that niche.
Mhm.
It's still
That
viable.
Mitch.
It's still viable.
But it's to a
Yeah, and
hardcore
King of
fan
Fighters
base.
is keeping King of Fighters and Guilty Gear are keeping that animated 2D that we grew up on alive.
But you see, Guilty Gear switched to the cell shaded. But when I was streaming Guilty Gear XR and Shinwar was watching it, he's like, "Is that 2D?" I'm like, "No, it's 3D." But
Yeah.
the way that it's done, you can't
Oh,
tell. It looks like King of Fighters, 13, but 3D. Because you'll notice when they do certain clash effects, the camera will rotate, but you cannot
oh,
tell. They did it really, really well. But with that, New Gaming Order, those of you who are on the live stream, we're going to take a 30-second intermission so that Nelson can break up the video. And for our YouTube people, if you want to come back, we're actually going to be talking about the Microsoft Windows 10 and the Halo Studio and a lot of things that might be changing gaming. So
What?
if you guys are done, we'll see you next time. For our live folks, stand by. We're going on standby for a minute. Nelson's gonna do his thing, and we'll be right back. So Nelson, do your magic.
All right, give me 30 seconds from now.
All right, we on intermission. So the live folks get to see all this Mitchosity. Yes.
Nelson,
shut up! I'm
Nelson,
playing
when
Sunset
you were-
Overdrive.
What?
Nelson, when you were talking to your buddy, we were able to hear it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I had it on
Yeah.
mute.
We
No,
It
heard
was
you.
actually
Nah,
while
no,
I
you
was
didn't.
going when I was doing my thing, we actually heard you.
Like
Well, I had it
every
on mute.
other.
Did you guys hear me like before? Like, let me see. If I mute it now,
We can hear you right
Yep.
now.
you
We
sure?
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah,
what
are
the-
we
what
sure?
the-
We just answered you.
You know what
Oh
it is?
my
You know
God.
what it is? I'm sorry. It's because of the fact I don't got you guys muted on Skype. I only got the guys muted for like the
Did
stream
I got
and for the
you.
YouTube.
oh
Yo.
shoot.
Sorry,
All right,
sorry,
just put
sorry.
it out there.
Okay,
He
Uh,
said, "Are
one
you
second.
sure?" We were like, "Yeah."
1 second before we restart
Are
back
you
up,
sure? We
NYC
just
Playboy
answered you.
78 says what up to everyone on the stream.
What's up,
Who?
NYC?
So
Yo.
he's there. He says
Hello.
he said go Navy, take that army mess off. Damn.
Ew! Hold on. You know what? That's a whole other topic we're gonna hit up.
First of
Unbelievable.
all, that has nothing to do with gaming.
Hey,
Okay,
Call of Duty.
okay.
This is Call of Duty right here.
Okay.
Real
of
life
Duty.
Call of Duty,
So-
I'm getting
Oh,
off.
Alex,
Call of
whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll queue up the next recording. So whenever you're
All
ready.
right, and we can go live
What's
now.
next topic?
Windows 10.
Ah, shit. I better start reading up.
All right, yeah.
Dang.
I'll let everybody else go up first,
But
but
that's fine. You can put me first.
Don't let me go last. I'm just going to respond because I haven't watched anything on it.
alrighty.
I'm not the computer guy.
All right, I'm ready to roll when y'all are.
Go.
Oh, we're live. What? Oh, New Gaming Order. What's up? We back like your juggernaut, Mitch. Windows
Ah.
10. All right, now those of you who are for YouTube, we were talking about Evo's fighting game lineup. Check out that video. And now we're hitting Windows 10. Now
Huh?
on the 21st, Microsoft did their little thing with unveiling Windows 10 and what it's going to do and what that means for the future of how we enjoy technology, Windows, streaming, things of that nature. And I had to take notes on this because had Shinwar not text me at work to let me know it was going down
I
live, I
don't
would
know
have,
you.
I would have, shut up, I would have missed it. But the one thing that really stood out to me was Windows 10 and the integration of was it the HGU Shinwar or what the hologram graphics unit or something? Well,
Cortana.
Cortana, that's one part of it. But think about this, New Gaming Order fans. If you remember the movie Minority Report and how Tom Cruise was doing all this stuff with the holograms and moving around screens and things of that nature, or you look at the films like Iron Man and where you see all like Tony Stark's and the whole thing with while he's in the suit and you have like the hologram. Microsoft in some ways has brought that to reality. You know, Halo Studio and how pretty much these glasses similar to the Oculus Rift is making it where everything that you see becomes your desktop. It's amazing how they brought things that were science fiction to science fact. I mean, you can like architects are going to have new tools to create things, in virtual space and then take it through a 3D printer for concept, you know? And I think that that kind of technology, mixing it in with games, is going to change how we experience games across the board, you know? And I believe games like Minecraft, imagine having this set of glasses and you're actually in the world of Minecraft. Or, taking it further into being inside the world of Warcraft, so to speak. It's literally putting you in the game, So I wonder how this is going to make a change because Microsoft has done something great with this, but then again, it could be another gimmick, like with 3D TVs and how it didn't really catch on, But giving Shinwar first spotlight, what are your thoughts on the Halo Studio? Because we're gonna keep this thing going straight, but talking about subtopics in this segment. But
He beat me. Okay.
what the heck?
I was playing Street Fighter, yo. Nah. All right. Um, when Microsoft definitely changed the landscape on a lot of things. Obviously their built-in Cortana, which is the equivalent to Apple's Siri, is meant to be competitive against Siri. There's a lot of things she can do that I noticed that probably Siri can do, but hasn't been demonstrated up until this point. In the Windows 10 briefing slash conference, the guy was able to track his wife's flight with Cortana. So like if he needed like any updated information about the airline or whatever, when she's gonna land or whatever, Cortana was able to give him that information based off of what he told Cortana about himself, about his wife. Cortana will remember it. Another good feature was he verbally created an email without typing or anything, and Cortana was able to create that email for him. I thought that was so dope.
Mm.
Um, what else?
And
Uh,
Shinwar, just to interject real quick, you
uh-huh.
see how Cortana behaves?
Yeah.
That's the same way that she assists Master Chief is the same way that they're trying to replicate her assisting us in everyday life. It's weird how they're doing that, you
Yeah, and
know?
you know what? You're absolutely right. I believe the guy did say that it's Cortana's gonna be like your personal assistant.
Yeah.
So you give her instructions, you tell her to do this, and just like Alex said, she assists you like in Halo, how she assisted Master Chief.
Mhm. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you talked about the hologram, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was actually isolating first, but yeah, you can jump into that.
Okay, well, okay. So just Microsoft has been really going in with this technology for a few years now.
Mhm.
They wanted to do it with the Kinect and the Xbox, but they are really. Before I even jump at that, remember Avengers when Tony Stark had that hologram and everything?
Yeah, I
Um,
made mention to that. I made mention to that.
right,
Mhm.
Microsoft is going that route, and it's gonna be here before we know it.
Mm.
Even talking about the invisible cell phone, well, not really invisible, but it's more like a hologram cell phone.
Yeah.
They're going into a lot of things in regards to that, and just really just um expanding the way we live in regards to technology, making it easier. Obviously, it's going to be very pricey, but it's going to be easier for us.
And it looks like they're trying to integrate Windows into everyday life. You put these glasses on, you walk into your house. You don't even
Hmm.
need a TV anymore. You could look at a wall and do something like how you do with Connect, and then you're watching like a soccer game or a football game right on a blank wall. It's amazing
Right.
what they're doing with that. But brother Noop, what are your thoughts on what Microsoft is doing with this ambitious undertaking with Windows 10? Sound like
Microsoft is doing what needed to be done. Well, is what Microsoft is doing what needs to be done now and what should have been done years ago, but no one wanted to take the financial risk with. You
Mhm.
know, when you think about technology, what do we really get when we get new quote unquote new technology? Cell phones. We get the same phone as last year. They change the casing up, they give us a new color, and they make the camera better, and oh, it has a 2.5 gigahertz processor instead of a 2.0 gigahertz processor, and all these people do reviews on it and make it sound like the best thing in the world. And a year later, you're replacing it after you just spent $400 on it. I think Microsoft knows about these cycles. Microsoft is probably guilty themselves of joining in on these cycles. And they're like, you know what? Let's change the way we look at technology and use technology.
yes,
It's
yes.
already everywhere. We're in everybody's homes already. Because if you own a Windows machine, chances are you have a Windows device somewhere in your house. You know, let's finally take that leap forward. Let's stop giving these fake jumps in technology and integration, and make it a legitimate jump, because I mean we're still catching up with other parts of the world in
Mhm.
terms of technology, man, because some people have stuff like that already, we just don't hear about it.
Mhm.
um and I'm just glad that they're taking on, the same thing I said about the Connect. I was glad, when people like, oh, I don't like the Connect. I'm like, I'm glad Microsoft is out there taking chances, doing something. I'd rather try to do something brand new and fail at it than to say I never even tried it at all.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for all these new integrations. I've been more interested in a PC type lifestyle lately, and I think all these new integrations, like the glasses and things like that, will be awesome. Hopefully, they won't suffer from what 3D suffer with. Part of the reason why, and I found this out in the Best Buy, part of the reason why 3D failed is because I think like 30 to 40% of people who actually engage in 3D actually get nausea from it, like strong nausea. So
Mm.
that's why I never really took off, because it's like literally making me sick. And I mean, 3D is it's been around forever, but
Mhm.
it's like it's not really a necessity. And then you lose all of the video quality. You lose the
Mm.
quality with
Mm.
3D. I mean, it's you get the 3D effect, but it looks like whatever. So, hopefully Microsoft, if someone out there is listening, because it seems like I'm gonna say what Alex always says. It seems like someone's listening because every time we talk about something that happens, take your time. Make sure you do it right, because we're a very fickle society. You
Yes,
mess up
indeed.
once, and that's all we're gonna talk about. That mess up. You can fix it. 5 minutes later, but all people are gonna remember with that is the mess up. So take your time, launch it correctly, man. Build confidence in the product. You know, and I'll be on board with it. I'm excited about it, man. I'm glad to see this leap in technology and this leap in just lifestyles in general, because they're smart. Like, if you look at it, stuff is starting to fade. Like, I haven't had cable in 3 or 4 years because of my Xbox and what I can do with that. So I think they're trying to get in, financially as well. They're like, look, there's money in this. Let's go
Mhm.
ahead and get this done. Let's put the money. Let's put the backing. And hell, it's got to work.
Yeah.
Because what's next?
Yeah, yeah. I said that in a video that I uploaded earlier today. That where does gaming go? Where does technology go? I felt that gaming had indeed hit a plateau for a while because games
Yep.
just started looking prettier, but there was no
Yeah.
innovation. And the one thing I will always give Nintendo my devout respect for is the fact that they took a chance with going the Wii route. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it got the other companies
Yeah.
thinking. And then it's like, hey, you know what? Companies with more resources can say, "Hey, damn, they got a good idea. Let's improve it." You know.
Yep.
And now going forward, now I think, honestly, with Nintendo going that Wii route, kind of gave, you know, a nod to the Kinect and the PlayStation camera, and now this Hollow Studio. I mean, this is the future. All right. But on your knees, are you ready, or you need more
Yeah,
time?
I'm ready.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on what Microsoft is doing with Windows 10 and all that and what that means for
Uh,
technology?
I'm gonna take the opposite side of things and be a little skeptical. Mainly because Microsoft is gonna give out Windows 10 for free.
For a year? For
And that's
For
for Windows 7, Windows 8, and
yeah.
8.1
hmm
users.
So my
Yeah.
question is, I understand that they make their money off of business licenses, not consumer. Are they saving money by the fact that they're not going to implement any type of copyright protection on Windows 10? Maybe they're going to save
mm,
money that way, but my concern would be with the Cortana. What are they going to do with that information they gather on you? Are they going to
mm,
be just like a Google
Mm.
where they charge advertisers to target to the right people, or are they going to sell your information, or
mm,
do both?
okay.
That's where my concern is going to be. But otherwise, given Windows 10 out for free, I might actually own another legit copy of Windows for the first time in 20 plus years. Who knows? Um,
Disclaimer: the views and expression of the
We're
staff
getting
does
off.
not
it's all a
represent.
joke,
I
people.
know, I know,
Relax.
I know.
But
Getting off.
yeah. So my
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
uh, but yeah. So that would be my concern. I mean, are they going to have to report the Windows every time you log in? It being free kind of helps alleviate that, but integrating Cortana into everything does have me a little concerned. But
Skynet.
other Yeah, it's the future. Everything's going to be on a massive database, and you just wave your hand and do motions, you'll get exactly what you want. But um, in terms of the other things, it's looking good. The 3D Google Glass type thing that they have going on looks rather impressive. I haven't had a chance to look at the videos, but from the way Alex is describing it, I don't know if he's looking through rose tinted glasses. But
Unbelievable.
Oh, that's what Nelson's wearing.
no,
Nelson
Alex,
got them
no,
gaming glasses on, yo.
Unbelievable.
no.
Continue.
He's got his 80s porno glasses on. But anyway.
Oh. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah, it's looking good. So keep an eye out for things. Just like any other Windows operating system, do not adopt it right away. Wait for the first service pack,
This is
because
true.
there's going to be bound to be massive issues with it.
And plus, it's built from the ground up. It's not like how the other Windows were being that, a bit of history, how Windows, the original Windows was like a unfinished version of the OS for Apple. And that's why all the issues with viruses and security breaches, you see that more on the Windows platform than
You
as
see
a,
it more. You see it more on Windows because it's on 90% of home computers.
yeah. So
But Apple's far less secure than Microsoft. It's just a matter that they're not being targeted.
Mm, good point.
Uh,
Good point. All right. So, Nelson, what are your thoughts on Microsoft's direction for the future with Windows 10? And we can also segue into how they're applying it to, cell phones, tablets, the Xbox One, and how everything is going to be cross compatible between all Windows 10 operating system, devices. So, I mean, what are your thoughts overall with what Microsoft has unveiled?
Well, basically, they're trying to, of course, just move into the future. They're trying to make everything useful with every household item, whether if it's a television, computer, tablet, cell phone, gaming console, the whole nine. And they're trying to wrap everything around to using the whole cloud storage, so everything is always synced up 24/7, as long as you're all on the internet.
Hmm.
Certain things can be used offline, certain things cannot. They recommend that you stay online so everything gets like easy integrated with the pictures, videos, music, contacts, emails, whatever.
Hmm.
And I won't talk about the gaming portion of it like too much because I guess we might segue into that in a little while. But I haven't really been like a fan of particular Windows because it felt like they half-assed it or just pushed it out just to get a little here and there, but there hasn't been like a really good version of Windows in a while. They said that it was Windows 8 regular. Oh, it's the next generation of things. And what happened? Everyone didn't like it. They had to make 8.1, and then now people are starting like, oh, okay, you could go into your desktop, you can do this, you can do that, stuff like that. But hopefully they listen to the people. The Cortana idea is fantastic, even though it's just basically Siri. Go fucking figure.
Hmm.
And you're using Bing now. That's what Microsoft is going to integrate with this whole service is Bing, not Google. Because
Yeah.
Bing is going to use for the searching for apartments or food or gaming or pictures or email talks, whatever.
Hmm.
It's going to do the whole thing. And what I'm just really excited to see is how far and how expanded it's going to be basically from what they mentioned in the keynote. Is it going to be like consistent betas so everyone can like test out every single version and then give like a full like feedback on it, or they're just going to do it and just work in-house with their feedback only and not the community?
Well, Microsoft has been doing that a lot, like with Halo and all these other betas being released.
hmm
So maybe that's a good thing. That's a good point. And considering the lifestyle and work that Shinwar does, I'm pretty sure he might agree if they allow for folks to give that
Hold on,
feedback.
yo.
They can say, "Hey, this is what we want and what we don't want." Shut up, Noob.
He's no listen. What's up? But hold on, yo. We talking about my job, yo.
You know what? But on a final note, the one thing that did stick out also being that
Hold
Spencer
on.
had said something to the effect where now it would be easier for certain developers to develop apps that they can seamlessly port to
Got
tablets,
him.
to phones, to the Xbox, so on and so forth. So instead of like, hey, starting over, like, okay, we got the tablet version. Oh, we want to port it to Xbox? Damn, we got to start all over. Now they eliminated that. They have
But
one. Yeah, go
mhm.
ahead, Shimar.
No, one thing we have to consider, companies have to consider, as technology gets better and faster per se, internet connection bandwidth
Has
has
to
to get
match.
faster. Yeah, it has to get faster. Just like Nelson said, if they want all this stuff to be sunk up in the cloud, uh North America's bandwidth has to increase tremendously, and that's where Google comes into play. See, Google is already thinking 10 years down the road. Like,
Hmm.
we have the slowest internet here in this country, and it's a shame for
Hmm.
no reason.
Yeah.
So,
And it's uneven. Like y'all are able to have access to Verizon Fios with the fiber optics. Me in the South, we don't even have it down here. It's still not available.
hey, you on
And I
dial-up, Noob?
was,
You still on
shut
dial-up?
up. I actually sold. I actually worked for Verizon for a little bit through a third party company as
What?
a
Mm,
customer service agent,
what?
and I was selling Fios back in 2007, 2008 to people in Virginia, New York. here it is 2015. I'm still in the same state that I was in back then, and we still don't have it. Get off me. Come on.
That's kind of crazy.
That's Verizon's fault. They cut a deal a few years back with Time Warner, Comcast, and a few others that they would they would not expand if those other cable companies stayed out of mobile.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it's a territory thing too. It's
That
business. It's
That was
business.
about 3 years ago. I'm not sure if they got in trouble, but on the flip side, the FCC finally mandated broadband is 25 down. They didn't. I forgot what the up numbers are, but it wasn't 25 up.
It's not 25 up?
No, currently the definition for broadband I think is 6 or 10 down. So that's a big
my
jump.
gosh.
In order for them to get government funding or tax breaks, they have to sell internet at 25 megs. There are certain exceptions to keep it down to 10. So that's a nice shot in the arm for a lot of companies to get their ass in gear. And if it's to be believed, they are currently looking into getting rid of all those laws that prevent local towns from getting their own fiber. Because there's 34 states that have laws restricting towns from getting their own fiber. Because you look at cities like Chattanooga has 1 gigabit. A good chunk of Vermont has 100. I think it's 100 megs, or 1 gigabit too. There's a whole bunch of places that have it, and you know the mostly cable companies. They are AT&T's doing it a lot too, but they'll lobby the local law. Our local, senators, congressmen, what have you, and they get these laws passed where it's unfair competition. They can do it at cost, blah, 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 so they can keep shitting on their customers.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
and you know what's funny? No, go ahead,
Oh, yeah,
Chris.
so that's allegedly being worked on. Whether it actually happens, who knows? But looks like they are doing almost everything they can to keep net neutrality in place. So things are looking a little better, but until shit actually gets done, considering the FCC guys are formally tied with Comcast, who the fuck knows what'll happen?
But you see, with that, it's like with Windows 10 and how connections have to increase. It has to evolve with the technology. Microsoft probably needs to hit these companies and say, "Hey, you know what? Let's get on board. Let's make this thing work. You know, how can we push our agenda? How can we make you guys happy? You know what I mean? And make a deal. Make a deal across the board, because if this thing, if Windows 10 and what it can offer is successful, it's not just going to be good for Microsoft. It'll be good for Nintendo, be good for Sony. It'll be good for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's just
Well, I agree with you. The only thing about that, speaking of a Windows phone, that Windows phone, honestly, it just my opinion. I think it looks good, but compared to Apple and Samsung, it has it's gonna be hard for them to find that niche.
need to find their place.
It
Yeah.
also only has 3% on the market as of Q3 last year.
Exactly.
Windows
So
You know what? I think it'll end up taking over for the simple fact that
mm-mm.
what Apple is on the seventh, eighth device, and Samsung is
Apple's losing
close to the
buzz.
same thing, and we're not really getting that leap. That's what I'm saying. Like, those phones are great phones. But
Oh,
like,
you know what?
every year you're
No,
literally
I don't mean to
getting the
stop you.
same phone. Oh,
I don't mean to stop you. For the sake of time, we're gonna go into intermission. For our YouTube people, we're gonna stop here because I didn't want it to run too long, but
true.
yeah, we're stopping this portion. So if you want to stick with us, for those of you watching live, hang out. Nelson's gonna split the video. For our YouTube people, we'll see you next time. Make sure you check out our final topic and the topic prior, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Richard Pryor.
Richard, what
I'm,
the?
I'm getting on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, give me 30 seconds again.
Yeah. In regards to the cell phones, though, Google may be teaming up with T-Mobile and Sprint to deliver their own cell phone service.
Ew, Sprint.
Well,
though?
No,
wait,
both
you know what?
T-Mobile and Sprint, so they
Sprint
get a better
sucks.
But wait,
Sprint sucks.
Chris,
Hey,
Chris,
T-Mobile
wait,
and
wait,
Sprint
wait.
sucks.
It was for the phone or the bandwidth. I thought I read
No,
somewhere.
they're gonna do like what Virgin Mobile does and Cricket and all those others,
Oh,
where
God.
they're gonna lease the networks. This
I
way
got
they
it.
have.
I got it.
Granted, T-Mobile uses I think CDM and the other one uses GSA or whatever
Yeah.
it is, or GSM. I
Mhm.
forgot what it is, but so might be going down too, or that's the rumors. So Google's
Yeah,
looking to go everywhere. They also
yeah.
spent 17 million lobbying for net neutrality because that affects them a lot. So if net neutrality gets trounced, I would expect to see Google push out their fiber a lot faster
But
because
but you
they
know what, Chris? Hold on. I was researching today. They're only in three major
yeah, it's Kansas City. There's a
Kansas
town in
City.
Texas, and what's the third one?
Have
Washington,
what
right? There's a
was
town
it,
in Washington.
Washington or Utah? One of them.
Yeah,
I think it's Utah. But the thing is, like, they have their projected states, and I was happy, but nothing near us. I'm
yeah.
like, not
In
not
time,
anytime
in
soon.
time.
They're looking for cities that already have fiber that they can tap into.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's why they picked the city in Utah and Texas. I think Kansas City was their complete on rollout because that was the first one.
that
The
was the
other
first one.
two, yeah, the other two, I think fiber, or at least in Utah, the fiber was already there, so that helped to speed out the rollout.
And that's
But
and you know what's crazy about that? That's 1 gigabit, right?
yeah, you could pay
Um,
for 1 gigabit, $70 per phone,
yeah,
a TV, and gigabit, or you pay $300 installation, you get 5 megs down for life for free.
yeah, and that's free. That was like, I was like,
Wow.
wow,
Yeah, so you get
really?
5 megs for life for free
All right.
after you pay the installation. Oh,
Yeah, that's my
Uh,
cousin. Yeah. Oh, shout out to
unbelievable.
my cousin. Oh, Nelson, this version with all the raw stuff, we'll still have that in archive, right? And we can stick that on YouTube. All right. Yeah. Shout out to my cousin. You see, my family getting onto the show, and Garvin's out in
Your
Texas.
family lives in Miami. What?
Unbelievable. I'm done. I'm done. All right. All right. And the final topic we're about to hit. Okay, and I'm ready to go now.
That's what she
actually, wait.
said.
Before we start, I want to try one thing before we start.
Okay.
Shit, where'd it go? I gotta find it. Give me a few seconds here.
All right. And I'm getting a bunch of phone calls when I say between 8 p.m., 9 p.m. we're podcasting.
What the? Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Alrighty.
give me
Oh,
1 second.
oh, real quick, FYI. I just seen it too. Hold on. Big E just said, what the heck? Big E plans to bring DOA 5 last round to Evo 2015, despite it not being on
Did
the
you hear
main
that?
lineup.
Hmm. What, you had a sound effect, Chris?
Yeah, are you guys hearing that?
No.
Ah,
No.
shit. All right, no, I was trying to. I thought I found a way to get.
Boom, 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 boom. Well.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually. I
Oh,
thought I had a way to get my soundboard working, but apparently it's not. I'll have to play with it
Your
later.
man board. What?
unbelievable. Ah,
Yeah,
ah.
that's fine. I haven't said anything embarrassing.
All
I
right.
can't say the same for the rest of you though.
All right. So, hey, so you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Hold on, scratching the back of my kneecap. Hold on.
Shut
All
up,
right, go
Luke. Unbelievable.
ahead.
All
I
right.
don't care, yo. Junk hurt.
All right, at Nelson, we'll edit. But new gaming order.
Power up.
Are you straining on the tub or something? What the heck? All right.
On the tub,
You're
I'm getting
shitting in the
off.
tub. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, you can do the local
You
recording
said
like
you
that.
want her to pop, lock, and drop it.
All right. Ready? Oops.
Poops.
This makes it easier for full screen and screw attack and all that good stuff. All right. Ready? All right. New gaming order. Thank you for joining us for our final topic. Now, today, I just wanted to streamline what we do talk about, until Garvin gets back. But this last topic is like the new DirectX and what that's supposed to do for the Xbox One. Now, as it stands, the SDK that was released with the Xbox was somewhat limited. Now, rumors have it the Xbox One was actually supposed to come out in 2015. All right. But I guess they're trying to make that jump on the market. Same thing like the 360 did. Same thing like the Dreamcast tried to do. Get out to market, to stay competitive. Okay. in that now, what's supposed to happen, Microsoft is going to unlock what the Xbox One was originally intended to do. Now, I know something that, giving credit to Review Tech, he pretty much explained it a little bit better. Where initially the cores, only one core can talk to the GPU of the Xbox One at a time. With this new update, multiple cores will be able to talk to the GPU at one time, which should, allow for better performance, less stress on the RAM. But Shinwar made a good point. He and I were talking about this earlier. If
Hmm.
you're shifting something, something else might, balance might be thrown off, or stress on the GPU where you got all these things talking to it at once. You know, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I would like to see what the Xbox One was intended to do. Like its full potential now being unlocked. Now you're going to see like a bigger jump, like games like, Rise, Son of Rome. You're going to see, let's say that they were to do the sequel, which got canceled. It would have looked a lot better, But the only sacrifice that is supposed to happen, that seventh core, out of the eight core that the Xbox One has, that seventh core, 50% of it was used for the voice commands. Okay, now the developers have a choice to say, hey, I don't want to use these voice commands. I just want to put more power into the game. You know, you're gonna lose a couple things here and there in terms of your features. So that remains to be seen. But now that Microsoft is promising that the Xbox One is going to be like unleashing the beast, how is that going to make it more competitive with Sony? Even with the fact that Sony still has better hardware in terms of their RAM, which is faster, if the Xbox One can actually get that jump, will it still be neck and neck? So I want to give the floor to Shinwar first and then go around the table. But Shinwar, what are your thoughts on?
Listen, it's all about your preference. I like the
No, no, I
Xbox
get the
One.
preference. It's
Ho,
just,
ho, 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 ho.
what the heck? I, no, I get the preference thing. This is
Listen,
mainly about the performance. Like they're
I,
unlocking
I,
it.
I don't have a problem with the performance. Nah, I mean that's fine. If they need to increase its power or whatever. But you know what's crazy though? Direct X 12, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna ante it up even more once that drops.
Yes,
But I mean, you won't be able to use the voice commands. It's like you're tapping into what was it? How much percentage of the power, Alex?
it's 50% of the seventh core that was
Now,
utilized for the voice command.
right. So we really haven't seen anything what the Xbox One is truly capable of yet. So I do look forward to that, and I still think even now it's still a beast of a console. But what you're saying is going to become even more beast. So, I can't wait to see, what the games are going to look like, play like, feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be good.
And before I give the floor to Noop, with the new DirectX, what they need to do, I guess, to pull out all of that, like the games have to have
Pull out. Hold
DirectX
on.
in mind. You know what I mean? What the heck?
Hmm. Go
He
ahead.
he took this to a Michael Hurdle, what you got in your crib type thing. But Noop, what are your thoughts on Microsoft potentially unleashing all the power to the developers for the X1?
Um, I think they did it on purpose.
Why?
Hmm.
So, because I mean, once your console's out and you show what your console can do, that's pretty much it. You don't really have. This is like the ace up the sleeve. Think about it. They released at a higher price. They got outsold. They dropped the price. They're catching up, and now they're about to make the system even better. How do you top that if you're the competition?
Good point. Good point.
So I mean, but at the end of the day, like we were talking about with Windows, it all comes down to how well will it perform once it actually happens. Theoretically, it sounds like it'll be great. And heck, I'm an Xbox One owner, so duh, of course I want it to be successful.
Hmm.
Um, and hopefully it can push it to the next level, man. I hope we do have consoles in front of us right now that'll be here for 10 years. Who
Hmm.
knows?
Okay. Okay. Nelson, what are your thoughts? Or matter of fact, Chris, are you ready?
I guess I am.
Okay. Any thoughts that like first should Microsoft have even released the system with a GIMP SDK limiting the power to start, and then now they're about to unleash it? Is that a good or bad thing? Is it too little, too late? What are your thoughts, Chris?
Well, I'm of the opinion they shouldn't have released it, but unfortunately, it's not how business works.
Uh huh.
They needed to make sure they get their foot in the door because they don't want to end up,
Behind.
yeah, behind. Essentially, I was gonna make an
Huh?
analogy, but I drew a blank. But yeah, Shinwar's excited because you mentioned behinds, but
Oh.
I'll touch
Hey, that's a guy on my friends list. His name is Behind. Hold
I
on.
knew you were
know
gonna
him.
bring him up.
Yeah.
All right.
behind
Hold on.
what?
Yeah, there's a guy on Shinwar's friends list. His name
That
is
we met at a
Behind.
tournament. Hold on. That we met at a tournament, and his name is Behind.
That
Unbelievable.
ain't worse
All
than
right.
that other guy, yo.
All right, but Chris, continue.
Sweet Chuck Meat, yo. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right.
Uh huh. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I think you made a good point. Maybe it shouldn't have been released,
Yeah,
but
but
like you said,
they had to, otherwise they would have lost even more position to Sony. They'd be a lot farther behind than they are now.
hmm
Um, Now, of course, Sony probably would have released their video option with $100 more, which would have hurt their sales further. But they would have been the only console, so they would have sold units on that. So it's kind of hard to tell what would have happened. But they did it solely so that they wouldn't lose ground,
okay,
which was probably the right move in the long run. But they still don't have that killer software. Maybe this DirectX 12 will give them that killer software or allow people to bring out the full potential. But it's they already lost me on the console. If Windows 10 allows me to play Xbox games on the PC without an emulator or anything, that'd be nice. But
yeah,
I doubt they're ever going to
there's
do
a
that.
potential streaming cross-platform
Well, that's
streaming.
streaming. I'm just talking about plopping my the DVD or whatever it is into the computer and playing it off there.
Well, that remains to be seen. I'll do some research on that if that would even be possible.
Hmm.
But we shall see. Nelson, finally, bring us home. What are your thoughts on Microsoft potentially unlocking that seventh core for the developers for more power and better looking games, and that in combination with Windows 10. I only see good things coming out of this. But your thoughts?
Well, as I guess we had a conversation about this some time ago. I was saying that we need to make sure if your guys is gonna make this move with DirectX 12, so that it reads multiple cores and sends the signal to the GPU, you gotta make sure one or the other doesn't overfry itself,
Mm.
because that's a major cause right now. Because mind you, you've been making all of these chips, motherboards, and processors all with the same pattern, 1 to 1, always 1 to 1. You never had like infinity to 1. That's gonna cause like a quick shortage right away. So they gotta take time to see how that's gonna actually be planned out. Are they gonna do it where it's in shorter bursts? Are they gonna do it so that they have to build a whole new structure now? Like we have no idea. But in the sense of the idea that they have, they mentioned that if I try to remember, Fable Legends is going to be a first prime example of what DirectX 12 and these cores are going to be utilized for. And within the future that Phil Spencer has been hinting on, all the games that was released at E3 of 2014 of Microsoft Studio in-house first-party games are going to take the same effects, such as Phantom Dust and so on. So we might see some graphical upgrades within the future games, but for the stuff that we have already now, might not take a significant jump. It might be jumped within frame rate, but as of graphics,
Yeah,
not
because
really
they're
too
already
sure.
built. They're already
Correct.
built. Like I was saying, like they had to build the newer games with that DX12 like already being used. To go back and unless they remake those games, I don't think it's gonna look that much better But I mean, it
But the
remains to be seen.
costing, the costing would be a little bit like ridiculous if they go backwards and remake all the games and be like, oh, here's the 1.5 whatever crap they're gonna call it of such and such. I'm like, dude,
And who's gonna buy it?
and I'm
Who's
like,
gonna
dude,
buy
I
it?
bought the game unless if you give us something where we can trade in the game at like the Microsoft store, like the official store, and be like, all right, give me this version for free since I already made the initial $60 pay for your title. But I doubt
You
it.
know they're not gonna do that.
Exactly, I doubt it, but we'll see.
All right. So, with that new gaming order, we're bringing this podcast to a close. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are watching live and all the shenanigans through the intermissions. We use that time now, Nelson. We'll use that time to actually talk to folks, NYC Playboy, my cousin who's watching. Questions, Q&A during the intermissions. And then we'll just take it from there. All right. So going around the table, closing remarks. Brother Noob, anything as we get ready to log off?
Again, thank you for joining us. Please, please, please take the time if you haven't already done so already to join us on Twitch. And join not just NGO but us as individuals, because we're all gamers and we just happen to get along, so we're able
We're
to do these
farmers.
podcasts. Shut up. But some of us are interested in different type of content, and there may be something that maybe Nelson plays or does with his gaming that you'll enjoy. Alex has started his little retro gaming
Oh yeah.
with his little
Oh,
exclusive builds. I want to join you on some of those through that little app thingy that we did. We'll talk about that later. But
all right.
yeah, join us. Join the NGO staff as individuals and as a group, so you can truly get a full, well-rounded experience. And and game with us, man. I'm Noob 1949 on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. Again, thank you so much for the support, and I can't wait for us to be able to give you even more content in the future.
Roger that. Roger that. On your knees. Any final words?
I got nothing. Oh, happy birthday! I'll just say happy birthday, old man. That's about all.
I'm not old. All right. I'm middle aged. Okay.
Ooh.
That's still old.
Moving on.
You
Shinwar.
look, you look good for 55.
And I got a family member watching this, man. Oh, that's all good. All right, Shinwar. Any final words, my man?
Just subscribe to the New Gaming Order Twitch page. Check us out on YouTube. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. My predictions is Seth Rollins Sunday.
I think
They're gonna,
Roman Reigns are gonna win.
yeah, they're also setting up for Sting versus Triple H, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, that's all I have.
Sting
Alright.
still wrestles?
Yeah,
Dang.
I know, right?
I thought he was old and decrepit.
him and Undertaker are around the same age, so
I thought it was like one of the
They
one
live
of
in
the
the same
Hardys
cage.
was like essentially crippled, but
I
he still
said-
put him out there.
it,
But I don't know.
long story. All right, Nelson. Final words and announcements. And
Um,
why is Ryback running around on SmackDown? Yeah, they gave him his job back. Unbelievable. But
Alright,
yeah, guys.
so I'd like to thank every one of you guys for who's watching on Twitch and also YouTube for the podcast that we've done today. Hopefully, we caught some interest within either the full length of the podcast or the cut up segments that will be thrown onto YouTube for you guys. As of announcements, don't forget, guys, we just now recently got an Instagram which is called New Gaming Order 1. You can follow us on that. You can message us, whatever. And like I said, not every so often, but we'll probably put out a little text, a little picture here and there, something gaming related, just for the fun of it. And we're gonna be doing a lot more good things in the future. I'd like to thank Full Screen for helping us out with this nice little partnership that we have with them, and it's been helping out very successfully. Also, we are trying to get everything, tangled in with Twitch. So eventually, just as what Noop said, we're all going to individually, soon enough, have our own Twitch channel, and we're going to make it so that as a permanent default, you guys can go to our multi-Twitch link and watch every single staff member play their own individual game of their liking, and you can choose which game you would want to see, and to your own preference.
That's right.
Other than that, Alex, you can close it out.
All right. Again, thank you all for checking us out today. We're on every Thursday at approximately 8 o'clock. Make sure you check out Lunchtime TV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll really help us out. Any donations, Nelson is like the governor of that. And we'll just take it from there. Again, we thank you for your support. And we'll see you next time on the New Gaming Order podcast show. Peace.